Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Isaac's vlogs. And yes, Isaac has come back to Team Blaha. He had, I guess, a couple months off, 6 weeks off, whatever it was. And he's come back. We talked about everything, and this is his first week back training. And he's realized he needs to make the gains, he needs to get stronger, and he needs to, listen to his coach more. Now, a lot of people came up and he laughed because a bunch of trolls contacted him saying, "Oh, Jason dissed you slightly in a video," and he listened to the video and laughed, and he goes, "Yeah, but everything Jason said was true. Everything he said was true. I burned myself out. I didn't listen. I got fatigued. I didn't listen to Jason, who I was paying to coach me, and I did things that he told me not to do, and the end result, I got burned out. I got buried under the training." Right, because I do these things with intention. I look at fatigue management. I look at psychology and all this stuff with my lifters to figure out what's going on as necessary. And this I don't make these programs and the numbers and stuff, arbitrarily. Right? It's years and years of experience. So, in his case, what we're doing for now, and we will probably adjust this, we went back over to the 3-day-a-week squat, bench, deadlift. But in this case, we're running training maxes with no plus sets. You know what? I can look at the quality of the reps. Everything's fast. We can take training maxes and build them and run 3, 2, 1, and 3-week waves at 90, 95, 100% of those training maxes. We can see what those training maxes look like. We can see what those lifts look like and determine if he's able to increase. So we do that. We do a heavy sets on the squat, bench, and deadlift. Everything else is hypertrophy work. It's all volume from there. It's all volume from there. And keep in mind, Isaac has always been a really low volume guy. So over time, I will have to build his volume a little bit as he's able to recover from it. We probably do need to get him into better shape. We do need to get some GPP and conditioning in. Because it's one thing to be big and strong, it's another thing to be in shape. Right? We need work capacity. We need conditioning to optimize things. And this is stuff that we need to work on. And he's done a great job getting bigger. We're working through all this stuff. He's done a great job getting stronger. All right. And when he doesn't have the belt on there, his physique's fairly impressive by most standards at this point. Again, when you got a belt on, though, and you've eaten and everything, sometimes you can push some stuff up. So that aside, and he's got some shirtless stuff up, so you guys can see where he's actually at right now on his Instagram. That aside, he's actually looks pretty good overall. Now, we need to get him more jacked, of course. So what did we do? We did our triple on squats. Then he did back off work with tens, and we did some good mornings, and then we're going to do some goblet squats. And I want these goblet squats to teach him to get deeper, because he's got that habit of cutting those reps short when we go heavy. And we've got to get into that deep position. Right? We need to be squatting below parallel. Especially when he's going to call himself Powerlifter Aesthetics is his name on Instagram. It's like, well, you better be squatting below depth. Right? We got to learn to pause our bench. Making him pause the benching. We pause the benching. None of this touch and go. None of the bouncing on the heavy work. It's one thing we could do that on speed work, not heavy work. And even volume, I usually like to see my guys doing their volume work with a pause, right? If we're going to bring those chesticles up. I actually had someone ask that. They're like, "But Isaac at one point was only doing this amount. Is this enough work?" It's like, well, technically he was doing plus sets and then 5 sets of back off work. So I'd count it as at least 6 work sets for his chest when we were doing bench. But then they were saying, when he was doing overhead press, yeah, but we're doing incline now. We're doing incline on top of that now. And I could always replace that with dumbbell work or whatever we need to get the volume where we want it. But, at this point, we're doing a lot more sets for chest, because we're doing these back off sets, right, for the bench. And then behind that, I've got him doing 5 sets of incline afterwards. Of course, we're also doing 5 sets for triceps, right? We got to keep those triceps growing. So, after his heavy peak set, we do 5 by 10 on flat bench, then 5 by 10 on incline. So we're at least 10 work sets. At least 10 work sets for his pecs now. Pecs, front delts, all that. Anyone going to deny that full range of motion pause benching on a flat bench and on incline aren't working the chest? Come on. Great chest builders. So that's all there. It's hitting the triceps and stuff too. And then we had tricep work. Of course, I have him do pull-ups also on this day, which you guys will see coming up. Again, got his pull-up volume at 10 sets a week now. Right? None of this come in and do 5. We do 10 sets. We do 10 sets. Because that's really kind of our threshold, isn't it? If we really want to get big, that is kind of your baseline. That's kind of the baseline for our optimal volume. We need 10 quality sets. A lot of people can get away with 20 and benefit from 20. Not everyone can. Right? Not everyone can. A lot of people can. I can. But, we need that minimum of 10. And that's if we don't count the heavy sets. Same thing with this squatting. We needed the goblet squats and the others. And then we do the good mornings after. But again here, after that, we do another 5 sets for triceps. Because we can argue about how much the triceps really get work on the chest press. And they're getting work, but probably not optimally. Especially not with a wider grip. So we need this extra tricep work. And we do full range of motion tricep work for this. Right? Notice it's all full range of motion. All the benching is paused. Right? Taking everything through, a good, reasonable long range of motion. Now, some people will point out with me, but what about your pulls? That is my full range of motion. That is literally my dead hang. A lot of people don't seem to be aware of that. It's just my joints. My scapular coming apart. That is as low as I can go. All right, deadlifting. These got sent to me a little out of order, so I threw them in the file a little out of order. This was actually his peak set. It was like 435 for 3. Everything was smooth. Everything was fast. No grinders. And that's what I want from him. That's what I told him. I'm like, with what you were doing, with what we're training, we can't have all those grinders. I need good, solid training maxes with good bar speed, and I need power behind them. Okay, that's what we want to see. None of this grinding, almost hitching, taking 4 seconds to lock a deadlift. This is not what we're doing. You can save that stuff for a platform if you want to compete. It's not how we build strength. Perfect, powerful reps. Okay, that's how we build strength. That's how we build our strength potential. Then afterwards, of course, we do 5 by 10 with lightweight back off work. Right? We do the back off work to build all this up. And, I like even sometimes deficits and stuff for some of my guys and those things. Guys who aren't running this sort of program, or even some of my conjugate guys will do deficit pulls and stuff. That might be something I add in for myself, actually. Might benefit me. But we do the deadlifts and we do some pull-ups. And I have him do curls on this day because it's kind of a, pull back and bicep day. So this is where we do our curls. And then he's supposed to be doing hamstrings, but at this gym he's over at, instead of his home today, he didn't have access to his glute ham raise. So we just did more good mornings, right? And that's perfectly fine. But this day then consists of deadlifts, a lot of deadlifts, pull-ups, heavy barbell curls, right? They're almost a cheat curl. Do a full range of motion. And then he does good morning since we didn't have access to a GHR. It's all pretty basic here, right? It's all pretty basic here. And, we may go to conjugate eventually for him, which will be a little less basic. But we still always have the basics in here. In his case, though, everything is pretty much big basic lifts right now because we aren't running really high volume. We don't have room for all the smaller stuff. All right, but it's good to have Isaac back. We're going to continue to see gains. He's going to continue to get more jacked. He's going to continue to get stronger. So I hope it has been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.